In South Carolina this morning, a once prominent and powerful lawyer is charged with the murders of his wife and 19-year-old son. Alex Murdaugh was indicted yesterday, more than a year after his wife and son were found shot to death at the family's estate. The disgraced lawyer was already in jail at the time, facing charges in an attempted suicide and money fraud scheme. He's also accused of stealing more than $8 million from clients and his own family's law firm. Murdaugh's license to practice law was taken away this week. Nikki Battiste is reporting on this story for 48 hours.
What is your name?
My name is Alex Murdaugh.
On the night of June 7th, 2021, Alex Murdaugh told 911 dispatchers he found his wife and 22-year-old son unresponsive on their sprawling South Carolina estate.
My wife and child are so badly.
Murdaugh claimed he was visiting his ill father in the hospital the night of the murders, but sources told digital news site Fitz News that blood spatter was found on Murdaugh's clothes. The murder indictment alleges Murdaugh shot his 52-year-old wife, Maggie Murdaugh, with a rifle and his son, Paul, with a shotgun. I tracked down Murdaugh's lawyer in September.
Did Maggie and Paul Murdaugh have life insurance policies?
They didn't have any insurance.
They did not have life insurance?
They had no insurance. Okay.
In a statement to CBS News, Murdaugh's lawyer said Alex wants everyone to know that he did not have anything to do with the murders of Maggie and Paul, and that Alex did not have any motive. The 54-year-old has been in a South Carolina jail since October after he admitted to an attempted suicide scheme, days after his family's legendary law firm accused him of stealing millions from clients. Prosecutors say Murdaugh hired this man, 61-year-old Curtis Smith, to shoot him in the head, with hopes of leaving a $10 million insurance windfall to his surviving son. Smith says Murdaugh was like a brother to him, so when Murdaugh called Smith claiming to need help, he says he didn't think twice before heading to meet him. When Smith arrived on a stretch of road, he says Murdaugh emerged from his car holding a gun.
He's standing there with like this. And he said, "Yeah, you got to take care of this." And I said, "Well, I can't do it." And he told me, he turned his head. I just grabbed his arm, put it behind his head, took the gun from him.
Smith claims during that struggle, the gun went off. Then he disposed of the weapon.
Yeah, he wanted me to kill him.
To make it look like a suicide.
Yeah. Ain't happening.
Both Alex Murdaugh and Curtis Smith were charged in that suicide scheme. There is more. In 2018, Murdaugh's housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, died at his house after, according to Murdaugh, she fell down the stairs. Murdaugh told her children to sue him for insurance money. They did, but according to prosecutors, Murdaugh pocketed the settlement of more than $4 million. No autopsy was ever done. Just over 2 weeks ago, investigators asked Satterfield's family's permission to exhume her body as they take a closer look at her death.
Boy, Nikki, this has been a bizarre story from the very beginning. From that 911 call where he had such anguish in his voice, sharing about his wife and son, and now to hear that he's been charged. But what can you tell us about Paul, the son who was killed? He was also involved in legal trouble, wasn't he?
Yes, there was a cloud building around the Murdaugh family. In 2019, Paul Murdaugh was driving his family's boat. It crashed. A 19-year-old woman, Mallory Beach, died. He was charged with boating under the influence. But what's interesting and what we dive into in 48 hours is Alex Murdaugh's behavior in the days after that crash in what looks like an effort to protect his family's name. So we have those details.
So many twists and turns. It's really kind of hard to follow, but people are dead.
More twists and turns than a Hollywood movie. Alex Murdaugh now has more than 80 felony counts. He faces up to life in prison and possibly the death penalty.
Yeah. More twists and turns than a Hollywood movie, more charges than a whole gang of
exactly.
Criminals, alleged criminals. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of allegations.
Thank you, Nikki. And you can see Nikki's report. It's called The Murdaugh Mysteries on 48 Hours. That's tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central, right here on CBS and on Paramount+.